Hi guys, Tiffany here with a wig tutorial on how I made the wig for my Sacred Shield Charlotte cosplay from the mobile game Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. And for this wig, we started off with the epic cosplay wig Phoebe in the color Natural Blonde. After getting the wig in the mail, I took the wig out of the bag and pinned the wig onto my wig head. This wig comes pre-styled in a ponytail with a ponytail extension tied in place. And the first thing you'll need to do is remove the ponytail extension. And after removing the ponytail extension, you'll notice that the hair is tied up in a ponytail as well. And they wrap the ponytail really tightly, so I ended up using scissors to remove it to release all of the hair down. The next step is to brush the entire wig using a wig brush to remove any tangles and knots. Next, I started to separate my hair into the different sections. The first being the short front bangs and then the longer side bangs, and then separating a smaller section for the side braids. Next, you're going to want to do a part down the center of the wig and then figure out where you want your ponytail to be. And then I used a small black rubber band and a small part of the hair to indicate where this position was going to be. Then I got hot glue and glued around the rubber band at the base of the wig. This is going to hold that one piece in place and is what all of our back ponytail is going to adhere onto next. And once the hot glue had dried, then cut off the extra hair. Next, I grabbed a smaller section of hair closest to the center ponytail, combed it into the direction that it was going to lay, and then sprayed Got2b hairspray in that same direction. And while holding the hair tightly in that direction, applied hot glue so that way it would attach to the center rubber band ponytail, and held it in place until it cooled down. And once cooled, cut the hair off again. And once you cut the hair is going to be a little bit frayed at that part, so I applied more hot glue so that way it would hold it in place and become a hard nub. I continued the same process, doing it from the center, working counterclockwise around the center part of the ponytail. This entire process of gluing, waiting for it to dry, cutting, and then gluing again for the back part of this ponytail took about 2 hours to do. So just be patient and it'll look great when it's done. Once you're about halfway done, you'll get close to the front part of the wig and you're gonna want to section that off for later. It'll be used for the final parts of the hair to be laid flat, and you want that part to look as clean as possible. Your hair should also start to begin to look like it is swirling around the center ponytail. And don't worry about using too much hot glue at the end, because this is all going to be covered with our bun. And this specific wig is designed for ponytail wear, so at the bottom, once you get the last hair towards your neck, it will naturally want to go upwards towards your ponytail. If you are using a different type of wig where it is not purposely made for a ponytail wear, it will be different. And you will want to add a specific weft to the neck portion so that way the hair will go upward. For the very top hair, I did end up crossing it over a little bit just so that way the hair would look a little more natural on top. Now to talk about how to make the bun part. For this, I used a styrofoam ball the size that I wanted and used a hot wire to cut the styrofoam ball into 2 sections. I then used a hot wand to carve out the inside of my styrofoam half. This is very important because the little ponytail section that we made is going to insert into this section and will be hidden. And this is what it should look like on your wig once it is carved out. Next, we're going to use the ponytail extension that came with the wig and apply hot glue to the entire surface of the lace holding the wefts. And while the hot glue was still wet, slowly attached it to the ponytail extension, starting from one half, working my way to the other. This piece should cover half of the styrofoam ball. I then applied hot glue to continue off with that center section, and then laid the hair down flat onto it. This way it'll cover the entire middle section of your ball. And next I repeated the same process for the sides half, covering it with hot glue and then applying the hair over it. Next, you're going to want to apply hot glue to the bottom part of the styrofoam ball and slowly pull a little bit of the hair around onto it. This part is to ensure that none of the styrofoam will show later on. I did also remove the little ponytail tying parts on the ponytail extension piece because our piece is going to be permanently attached to the wig, but if you would like it to be removable, you can leave those on and tie it to your ponytail later on. Now that all of the hair is attached and is dry, I then grabbed all of the hair in one direction and tied it into a ponytail. You will want it to be a little bit farther away from the styrofoam so that way you can tuck it underneath and hide it. Next, I got hot glue and glued the rubber band in place where the main one held it together. And once the glue was dried, cut off the extra ponytail with scissors. Next, I applied more hot glue to the end little stub of the hair so that way it was all one piece, and then into the inside part of the styrofoam so that way I could fold the ponytail inside and hide it. And now that that's done, time to talk about the braid part for the bun. For this, I used the extra hair from the ponytail extension and I glued one side of it so it would all hold in place. And when the glue was dry, taped the hair to the table and then proceeded to braid it. I then positioned the braid in the center of the bun with the bun hair direction going downward and applied hot glue and then slowly worked the braid around both sides of the bun. And here's what our finished bun and braid look like. And for attaching the bun to the actual wig, I again applied lots and lots of hot glue to the inside part of the bun and then placed it onto the wig where I wanted it to go and held in place until the hot glue dried. Now to work on the side braids. For this, I sectioned the hair into 3 sections, hairspraying and pinning in place for the first part, and then continuing with a normal braid. And for holding the braid in place, I did apply a little dot of hot glue to the main part of the wig to hold the braid in place. And then again, hot glued the end section and hairsprayed and pinned in place and repeated the same process for the other half of the braid. And here's what the wig looks like so far. Now to work on the front bangs. I first started off by teasing all of the hair with a comb and then applying a little bit of hairspray to all of the teased hair. And when the hairspray had dried, then combed lightly on top of the hair so that way it would still keep its form but be smooth. I then sectioned off the bangs into all of the spikes and then used a black little rubber band to indicate the height of the spikes that I would want. As well as adding a little bit more hairspray. And once the hairspray had fully dried, I then went back with scissors and cut where all of my rubber bands were for the height of the spikes. Next, I went back with a pair of thinning shears to the wig. This is gonna make it so your hair doesn't look as thick in places, and slowly smoothed out each of the spikes so it looked like it was a little bit less hair at the point. First starting with the sides, and then slowly hairspraying and pinning into the shape that I wanted. And then moving to the shorter bangs, doing the individual spike points. And for these, I did the same method and pinned them in place, as well as hairspraying and laying them flat. And here's what the wig looks like after all of that styling is done. All that's left to do now is to attach the crown to the wig, put the wig on my head, and then I could turn into the Sacred Shield Charlotte cosplay from Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Thank you guys so much for watching this wig cosplay tutorial, as well as a big thank you to my supporters on Patreon who helped fund the video of this, and I hope you liked it, and if so, press the follow button, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Much love, guys!